Hi, I have in front of me here the Camsat 9 product, okay? Basically it comes in this presentation box which you can see here. So it's designed specifically for professional use, pretty straightforward. But the purpose of this is to be able to pick up a picture from a camera and be able to broadcast it up to 3 kilometers away so pick up a picture from a remote location, send it to, say, your DVR. But there's other products within the Camsat range, such as the CAM9 16, I think it is, can do exactly the same. But what's special about this and different is it gives telemetry control. It basically means you can not only pick up the signal, but from the receiver end you can send the signal back and say, can I actually come along and tilt that PTZ camera and look in a slightly different direction. So what comes inside the box? Well, we have a user manual here, and it just gives all the basic specifications and the setup on it. So for instance, the broadcast of the picture from the transmitter to receiver is being done at 5.8 gigahertz, but the actual broadcast, that's a control mechanism from the receiver back to the transmitter, is being done at 868 megahertz. We have a set of brackets here, which is just used for mounting this onto a pole. With that there, it's exactly the same as we would have mounted them with the other Camsat products, and we covered the videos exactly how to do that. So we'll move on to the main events, the transmitter here and the receiver here. So what I'm going to do at this point here is I'm just going to come along and just move into position here and tilt this forward and just show you the various setups on this, okay? So it's sized for 2 different cables coming in here. Basically you'd normally have RG59 with a B and C connector here, and what we'll have is we'll have a camera here feeding the picture in here, and on this side here we'll have basically power running in. And the power will run in here, so we have a ground and an arc there, and that's just power to power the unit. It'll be coming normally off, we'll say, a 12 volt 5 amp unit. Excuse me. What we have then is we have audio left and right, and we have, if you were doing this through Cat5, the video, you can connect it in here. But for the control mechanism on it here, we have an RS 485 here, and this is so that we could feed a signal back down to our PTZ camera, a hand tilt zoom camera, to tell it to zoom in, to move the direction, all the rest of it. So that's a signal coming from this unit back to the PTZ camera. Now when it actually comes along and we need to look at how are we broadcasting the signal? Well, we'll be broadcasting the picture from this using the 5.8 gigahertz to send the picture over, but we'll be picking up the signal from, we'll say, the DVR or the joystick telling us to tilt the camera. It'll be picked up here, feeds it in here, and then sends the signal out through the RS485 to the PTZ. Okay? If we look here, we'll say, we have switches here where we can choose different channels here for both the video channel and also for the data channel, okay? And we can actually mix this in here, we'll say, where we'll have a range of different cameras all being fed and controlled remotely. We've slave units to go with that, and we'll cover that in a separate video, okay? So that's covered the basic topic here. And if we come then along and we look at the receiver unit, the receiver unit is the same, except I suppose in reverse, with the power coming in here, with the RS 485, that'll be coming from our DVR normally, where we'll be sending commands. And then we have the B and C, and in this case of course it's actually feeding the signal out, okay? So it's running a signal down here to the DVR, where we can connect and look at the picture coming in from the camera. In terms then of the data switch and etc., we're just setting this so it'll actually be able to pick up directly on each other. And then of course we have for the data control, the work in the PTZ, etc., we have the aerial here, okay? So from that perspective anyway, it's quite good. So when we're mounting this, of course, we'll be mounting it where they'll be looking at each other, okay? So that's basically an overview of this. Now what I'm going to cover in a separate video on another product is, this is called the CAM9 product, so it's basically a kit. There's also the CAM9S, which is a slave unit, and basically what we're doing in the slave unit is, it just allows us to add on extra cameras that will be working through this system here, so it'll be able to send back the picture through itself. But what it'll actually be able to do is, through this unit here, you'll be able to get telemetry control, you control a number of PTZs added onto that. But basically anyway, that's the overview of the CAM9 product, which is up to a 3 kilometer wireless sender with telemetry control.